Ryan Hayden, thanks for coming back on. I very much look forward to talking about this next step in the software building series that we're making. Just to remind folks, if you're just now joining us, there's 4 episodes before this one where we talk about um, discovery, the blueprint process, design phase, development, and now we are talking about what happens with software or an app after it launches. So Ryan, I'm glad you're here because there's different ways that this can go. Let's talk through them.
Yeah, man. This is we get questions about this from time to time from clients, and they're concerned about like what's going to happen, after I launch MVP, and just want to allay some of those concerns. I don't think this is going to be long
Yeah,
because it's certainly a shorter conversation than the things we've talked about before. But yeah, looking forward to it.
cool. So what's one of the first questions that you want to cover?
I think one of the biggest concerns that people have about working with an agency like Build Online and doing a big software project like this is like, are we going to ghost you after the project's done?
Yeah.
It's like our big payday's over. Are we just going to ignore you? And or even are we going to go out of business? I've had people
Mm,
have that conversation with me before, where they're like, "Well, how do you know you're still going to be around next year or the
yeah.
year after that?" And so I want to speak to that for just a second. So we're not going to do that. We're not going to abandon you. We do everything in our power to keep relationships strong, to schedule ongoing conversations even after we finish an MVP, after we finish active development. We devote development resources to helping ongoing client work every week. We
Yeah.
devote project management time to ongoing client work every week. So we're not going to ghost you. We're not going out of business either. I mean, our company has grown incredibly in the last couple of years, to the point now where I feel fairly confident it has a life of its own. And even if I or one of the other founders wanted out, the company would keep going. I mean, we've got like 25, 26 employees now.
Yeah.
We're doing, 7 figures of income. We're not going anywhere. And we love what we do. So, yeah, we're not ghosting you. You don't have to worry about that. So that's
Yeah.
one concern we get.
Yeah,
Um,
I like the level of relationship that you build with a new customer, especially because of how involved our discovery and then blueprint process is. Like we're vested. I personally enjoy being around the customers that we brought on so far. So, yeah, mirror what you're saying.
yeah, we like them. I mean, we like
Yeah,
most of them except that one guy. And if you're watching this, you know who. No, I'm
he
just
might
kidding.
be it.
We like all of them. We like all of them.
Yeah,
All of our clients. And so, yeah, that's the first thing. I think a second concern that people have is like, are we going to be able to fix your bugs? If there's bugs, is if there's minor changes that need to be made, are we going to be able to do it? And yeah, we can. What we do is we set up our clients and we say, okay, after a couple weeks after we launch your MVP, we're going to turn on what we call maintenance mode,
yep,
which means we are still available. We're still in contact. And anytime you need something fixed or you bring up something, we're going to jump in and do our very best effort to make sure that it happens in a timely manner. And we're going to continue talking with you, continue having our product managers keep in touch, keep tabs on the health of the project. Yeah, so yeah, we're still going to be around. We're not going anywhere. Now, we do have some clients that plan on hiring in-house developers
yeah,
after we build MVP because we're very fast. I mean, it would take we can do in 2 months what an individual would take a year or two to do. I mean, we just have crazy fast developers that work really
yeah,
well together. So we have had people like, well, I want to hire a an in-house team, and we have no problem with that. And we've devoted resources in the past to helping get those people set up. And we set up the project from the get-go so that You have ownership of it, and you can do whatever you want, and we will provide as much help and resources as we can to make that in-house transition as smooth as possible.
Yeah.
So we have assisted in that before. It's not as easy as it sounds. I
No,
will say that. It's not as
I
easy as it sounds. It's not an
I
easy transition to make.
I
So
know firsthand. I've had this conversation with multiple folks where they're thinking about hiring in house. So I just want to put a parenthesis on this. So this isn't really about post development. What are some of the downfalls of hiring in house instead of
well, first
hiring
off,
us?
it's way harder to fire an in-house team than it is to fire an agency. When you hire in-house, you have to train them.
Mm,
So that's a pitfall. It maybe takes a month or two for them to get up to speed, and so but you have to pay them through that whole time. The If you're hiring an in-house team and you're hiring American developers in particular, it can be very, very expensive.
yeah.
$100,000 plus benefits for a really good developer. If you're hiring somebody, you're getting one person with one set of skills instead of a whole team of people. So we have mobile developers, and we have back-end developers, and we have front-end developers, and we have people that are really good at servers, and we have multiple kinds of designers, and we have product managers.
Yeah.
And to hire all of those people, I mean, there's no chance you're going to pay that much money to us in a
Right.
year, if you had to hire all those people for your team.
Cool.
Yeah, and then there's politics, office politics that you have to deal with, and our teams already work together. There's all kinds of downsides to hiring. You
Yeah.
just hire us. I mean, come on,
There you go.
it's a no
All right.
brainer. There you
Good.
go.
I'm glad you did the sales pitch for me. So I love it.
Awesome.
Um,
Yeah.
okay. So we've covered the fact that we will not ghost you. This is a long-term relationship.
Yeah.
We have a vested interest in your app succeeding. One of the worst things that
Correct.
can happen is for us to launch software that the user does not end up implementing, or they don't launch it right, because then there's obviously frustration that comes from that, and we don't want that aimed at us. So we want you to succeed. Um, what's next? So assuming they're through the bug fixes, what if they want to be adding features and doing things to build on the software that they now have?
Okay. So one of the things that we want to do for your team is we want to provide you with, we don't call them project managers anymore. We call them product managers. And one of the things the product manager is going to do, particularly after you launch MVP, is they're going to be validating your app, validating with users, making sure that you meet your KPIs, your key performance indicators. They're going to be seeing how many users are on, and just basically helping all along the way. And one of the things that we want to avoid, and we want to help you avoid, is what there's an author, Melissa Pari, who wrote a book called Escaping the Build Trap.
Mm,
Okay. This idea of the build trap is something very common, especially with entrepreneurs. Maybe not so much with business owners, but
yeah.
entrepreneurs, especially, where they build an MVP. They spend the money and they build their software, and then they launch it. And what people don't realize is that building the software is only 40% of the work.
Yep.
The other 60% is running your business. Maybe that's 20% of it. And the equally as hard as building it is that marketing it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And marketing it is scary. I mean, marketing is hard,
It's
right?
daunting.
One of the, again, one of the advantages of using us is that you don't have to think about the product at all. You just can focus on the marketing from day
Yeah.
one. But what we see is a lot of entrepreneurs, they get into the build trap, where it's like, okay, oh, I launched my software and I'm not seeing uptick. I'm not seeing as many users sign up for it as I want to. What if I added this feature? And so then they spend more money to add a feature. And then they're like, oh, let's add another feature. Maybe if we add this feature. And it's like this, if we build it, they will come mentality. Software doesn't work that way.
Yeah.
It's an incredibly, incredibly saturated market right now. It doesn't work that way. You have to go and get users, whether that's through word of mouth, whether that's through advertising, whether that's through creating content like we're doing right now, you have to go and get users. And we want to help you avoid this build trap where it's like, oh, every week you're coming back. Well, I need to add this feature. Well, I thought about
Right.
this. Maybe we need to do this, and maybe we need to tweak this, and maybe we need to tweak that. 99% of the time, it's like, no, you need to go find people, users. You need to market the app. So what we want you to do is we want to work with you and help plan out. If you do MVP, we want to help you plan out version one, a full release, and then hire us again for a month or two to build out version one.
Yeah.
Or plan out, if you've done version one, got more ideas, let's validate those ideas first. Let's talk to the users that we have and say, hey, would you use this? So you're not building things for like that one guy who's vocal that nobody else cares about.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's a big part of the next step. And then when you want to jump into version one or you want to jump into version two, we would love to do that for you and go through a shortened discovery phase because we already have kind of a visual direction for everything,
Right.
and jump right in.
So the takeaway that I'm hearing is we're going to help you not only on the development side, but to do everything that we can to help make sure that your plan as a customer is going to succeed. And so that's maybe helping push pause, helping prioritize features or what that version will look like. But most of all, helping partner just business-wise to do, again, what we can do to succeed. And so one practical way of doing that is surveying existing users and helping you set that up. So this is great.
Right. Ryan, you know this as our business development guy. The very first question we ask in our discovery meeting, our blueprint meeting, is what are your business goals?
Yep.
Right? Like define your business goal. Mm-hmm. We want that business goal to be front and center throughout the whole thing. When you jump on one of our free calls, you think that the call is going to be Ryan or whatever trying to sell us on Build Online. And that is not that might be your goal on the call, but that's not my goal on the call. My goal on the call is to try to talk you out of your software project, right?
Yeah.
Which drives you nuts, I'm sure.
It does.
But my goal, yeah. So our goal is all along the way to just help you steer towards those business goals. And we organize the whole process for that thing. So. Mm-hmm.
Perfect. I think that about covers it. So to summarize, after software is launched, there's either maintenance mode where we're simply assisting in bug fix or making minor changes. And then there's also V1 or V2 customers that they want to build something new. And that's where we're going to step in and help with our basically our quarterly meetings where we come step above the code and we actually look again, is this working? How do we survey folks? How do we decide what to build next? And then we do a shortened discovery and then go at that next version quickly. So it's not a drawn out, long, painful process. It's quick. Get to market, validate, and decide from there. So This is great. I appreciate it, Ryan. Thank you.
Thank you, man. I'll talk to you later.
All right, folks.
Bye.
That's it for this episode. I hope that was informative. You can email me questions, Ryan Hansen at buildonline.io. Get in touch with us through the website, buildonline.io, or comment down below. I'll get back to you. Thanks, and have a great day.